non-duality. Do you ever experience the world dual when this non-duality strikes you? You see, there's not a practicer of non-duality. How can there be a practicer? You see, everything is one. You see, of course, duality has to go on. You see, you have to accept that the non-duality of your whole self, meaning your world, your thoughts, your mind, your ego, is separate from another's experience of this consciousness appearing, as if it's appearing as if there are different entities, different forms, different living objects. And of course, consciousness itself is all one, so there is no duality as such. But the ego and the human and the mind and the thoughts, they create this duality. And this is how it is, you see. I mean, they say you lose interest. Of course you lose interest, but you don't lose interest in being dual. You don't particularly have to make an effort to be dual. The world outside of you is making all the effort that it needs to be dual. The world outside of you are those that do not accept this non-duality or do not want to attain their original self. They'll tell you, stop, you have to be dual, you have to be doing this, you have to be separate from the body. Of course you're separate from their idea of the body, but you're not separate from your world that you have now seen through as a fake, but not a fake because it's completely real as one. Let's explain, and I can only explain from experience. Non-duality is not to lose interest in the world, interest in the job, interest in what you, your family and all that stuff. There is a prolonged experience that something is grounding itself and there's no attention on the separation of relationships and jobs and stuff, you know. It's just stuff, it's just words, you know. The relationship goes on, but it's not called a relationship anymore. It's just happening as whatever it is, you see. Duality says it's a marriage. Duality said it is a formal relationship. So what non-duality is, the experience of something profound that really says to you, why are you doing all this stuff? Why do people do all this stuff? Are they searching for the answers in the universe? Why are they searching for, you know, better ways, better methods, better practices, better results, better outcomes? Consciousness says, what the hell? Why do this? Why not just be here? You know. So you understand that what do you call it? Reconnection with your original consciousness, that God consciousness that we all are. We just choose, or we have no time, or we just want other things. The desires of life are far more super needed to experience, and that's what it is. You know, you can't. The idea of forming a non-dual group against duality is absolutely just the same as, you know, forming a terrorist group against China or America or whatever. It's just another way of experiencing the drama of duality. Duality is drama, you know. Non-duality is when the fear is irradiated. I don't know if that's a word. Everything leaves. It just crumbles. The fear of not having a job, being homeless, the fear of, let's talk human sense, the fear of um, whatever it is, the materialistically or socially or scientifically or religiously crumbles. There's no fear. You don't want to rebuild it up again. I don't want to build that up to make it the highest point. I must go to church every Sunday and do this and be kind and whatever. That's the highest point. That's happening anyway, you see. You see, the dual mind will always say, when you're saying something that appears to be negative to me, the dual mind, the other one, I will see it the other way, or I'll see it a different way, because we're dual, you see. Human beings cannot be completely non-dual. That's the foolishness of that's when consciousness speaks. What do you want to make whole with the world, with other people? What is this united act? What are you spending your whole life for that? This is not the important issue. It's not an important issue to create everyone with the same, like Adolf Hitler did, with the same color of eyes, with the same hair, with the same attitude, with the same religion, and communism does the same, capitalism does the same. That's like everyone the same, and of course they don't, because they build a hierarchical way and say, well, you're the same, you're definitely a capitalistic person, but you're low down the category, So it's a catch-22. Everything the dual mind wants to achieve, it comes up with another way out of it, because the dual mind is also copying or replicating truth. Life changes. Nature changes. It changes naturally. It changes very subtly, and without a mind, you'll know that it doesn't change. See, it doesn't change. It's the mind that's making the changes appear as if they're changing. Change is happening, you see, but there's not things changing. There's the emotional response to this world. You see the clouds moving. You think the clouds are moving, but it's your emotional response to the stillness that you are. How can you be emotional to that what is not still? Sorry, how can you not be emotional to that what is still? You see the what do you call it? The lake, the still lake. And you go, wow. But you also go, but when you go, wow, it starts rippling. You start seeing effects. Because the relationship between you and the still lake in a dual world is that what keeps the duality going. I saw the lake rippling. You created the lake rippling. But there's not, the body is not creating the lake rippling. The emotions are not creating the boat rippling. The stillness that you are, the peace, the silence that is just an effect, an essential need from consciousness to see itself moving. This movement, this moving world is me moving it. But it's not the body that's saying that. It's the consciousness that's saying it. And non-duality is the interest in life is just as great, but it changes to become, if I'm going to become dual, I want to become dual with the blade of grass, because it's absolutely beautiful. There's more to find out and discover by observing the blade of grass than there is going up into space and looking at planets, you see. That's the duality, the interesting mind. I want to be interested. I want to discover things. And consciousness all the time is saying, everything is in front of you, you see. Everything is around you. When you try and move into areas like religion and look for God, that you don't see God around you, you're just celebrating some idea, And there's nothing wrong with being dual. The interest is focused on me and the world, me and God, me and the universe, me and science, me and religion, me and my job, me and my car, me and my house, me and my family. The non-dual one is also, but not interested in it, just accepting it as it is, as it's unfolding. It unfolds, life is unfolding, and you become the observing, not the observer or the observed at. Things just are taking place. You're like that child. See, non-duality is not to say, I am the whole universe. Non-duality is to say, whatever it is, it is. You see, whatever it is, it is. Whoever I am, I am. Whatever is going on is going on. Whatever is taking place is taking place. Whatever is not taking place is not taking place. Or is taking place. Whatever is not taking place in deep sleep, something knows that there's something taking place. Maybe not in your mind, maybe not in your body. So in death, something is taking place. It doesn't matter what is taking place, it's taking place. The joy of living is to be completely free and liberated from the ideas that keep the mind focused. I go to my job, this I can be dual. I can go to a job. I have to really think about that. But if the job is taken away, it's part of what is taking place. I have no control over my job. I have no control over my body. I have no control over the universe. I have no control over what is taking place. That's non-duality. I'm free from the taking control, you see. Free from the taking control. And the ego mind it creates vomit, it creates nausea. Oh, I don't want to lose control. That's okay. But you have to understand that whatever you discover will not be uncovered. Something else will come in and take its place. You know, science through the years, it's been proven. Einstein, the theory of relativity, Newton, gravity, and it's all been superseded, We have to believe it. We have to give them a title. Their names are in Wikipedia. We have to understand them. We have to give them some sort of, rosette, some award. But consciousness now is gravity really is a bit, cheap and old-fashioned. So consciousness now is actually what is keeping us on this planet and keeping everything solid. I don't mean form solid, but connected. The earth is connected in the universe through consciousness, through some guy up top with a tape measure saying the earth must be so many light years away from Mars, and that's it. And I've worked it out, this theory of how the universe will sit, and then we wrap it all in a bit of a bubble of cling, which is called consciousness, okay? Holding everything together, You see, an interest in whatever the state of enlightenment, whatever the profound shift in enlightenment, they call it enlightenment, the profound shift in your very being, has another effect. Duality is okay. There's no one inside that can say, I am dual. There's no one inside that can say, I am non-dual. There is just an expression of oneness through an encounter with consciousness. And the two-ness goes on. You're not going to make anything out of this world by saying, let's everyone be non-dual and not do anything, The whole planet will collapse, you see. So there's a need for duality. A need because we've created it to the extent that it cannot be reversed totally right now. You can. Your duality can be reversed right now. But to take every human being and realize they are absolutely nothing to do. There's nothing really interesting up in the universe. There's nothing interesting anywhere that you cannot attain, cannot reach, cannot perceive, cannot touch through your emotional body. So you just love the blades of grass. You love the reflections on the water. You just love And this is a dual way of talking about, is it not? You love something other than you, but you know that you are all. All is taking place on its own. You understand God fully. You understand this. If this God is just a name, this source, this pure consciousness, you understand it. You understand it. It is here as one whole thing, one whole thingless thing. Yeah, but it wants to experience itself, and it can only experience itself by orgasming, creating an orgasm within itself. This I, the penis inside, ejaculates and creates this beautiful consciousness, right, that makes movement and essence and life out of that what was contained in this big infinite penis, or stable I. And everything that is being ejaculated is going round and round in circles, even the samsara, even the ego mind. But you cannot, there's no fear, because there's no escape from it. There's no escape. You don't, and of course the mind will say, "Oh, this is tragic news. I've had enough of this world." What world? It's an ongoing journey, and you have good days, you have bad days, and you're with your mind. If you want to see the world, if you want to see the no fear life, then let go. Let go of the idea that you will die, the idea that you're going to lose your job, the idea that your house is going to fall down, so many natural disasters, people are so troubled, and rightfully so, but they pick themselves up. They pick themselves up and they rebuild their homes, or they do anything they want. But it's the trauma and the stress and the depression that leads to the fight with the insurance company. Oh my God, it's so, nauseating. You don't experience that as a non-dual, and you just realize, wow, it's just what it is. We can't stop the earth revolving. We can't stop the sun coming closer to the earth. How can we think that we can stop anything within our world and control it and make it mine? Apart from the kings and the queens who have, formed some sort of, protection. Make sure they don't touch this, They won't get into my palace, And that's not a detrimental thing. That's their life. That's what they're interested in. Yeah. Some people, non-duality, they come back into their world and they remain interested in what they were before. They were maybe a priest, or they were maybe a scientist discovering holograms, and they go straight back into it. But sometimes the impact can say, it's not about where the attention is. It is about the knowledge that there's no point spending one moment of your world, one moment of this body, worrying and living in fear. And so that brings you to that home, and you see that everything around you is incredibly beautiful. You don't have to be a biologist to cut up the blade of grass and investigate it and see the colour. It just is, you see. Everything just is. So don't think there's a teacher within this one that's saying be non-dual, be dual, be triality, be cosmolity, be religious, be scientist. No. Just be yourself. Be yourself. And if you love your job, love it. That's your mind. It's not going to be permanent, your love for your job, because you'll know through life, if you just take a little flashback, that your life took little fluctuations, beautiful days and then hard days and then grieving days and then happy days and overwhelming days, and and good jobs and bad jobs and good relationships and bad relationships and good thoughts and bad thoughts and great fantasies, and that's just stuff. And this stuff is important for all. Because when you see life as flat line, you see, oh my God, flat line, that means I'm dead. That means you're truly alive. That means you're truly one. Nothing touches you. There's no thing you can be attached to or detached from. It's nothing you associate with or de-associate with. It just is that Buddha balance. That's life. Buddha balance. Non-duality, you can call it that. You can call it duality, you can call it enlightenment, you can call it awakening, you can call it spirituality, you can call it religion, you can call it God, but it's just balanced being. You're just balanced being. Everyone is balanced being with things that draws their attention, like that magnet. Oh, I'm over there. Yeah, I want to be that. You go to the roller coaster ride. Yeah. And everyone has their favourite ride. And I used to be the same. Now I go to the roller coaster ride and I go on every ride, but I don't say I want that one before that one. I love the rides, But they just happen, you see. You walk and they happen. You don't look at the name of the ride, you don't look at what's happening up top, you think this is going to be I don't know what it's going to be, you see. I don't know what it's going to reveal. And you go through life not knowing what's going to be revealed. And when it's revealed, you love it. The emotional sensory body is saying, wow, I didn't expect that. And sometimes it can be horrific. And you come off and you say, oh, I didn't expect that. There's a slight difference in your approach and your reaction to what is taking place, but not the same reaction as you had when you were dual. Oh, that was horrible. Oh, I don't want to go. Oh. Or the opposite. Wow. You come off smiling. Either way. I was a fool for trying it, or it was great. It's just a little smile, a contented smile. And you go around life smiling. Whether you're non-dual or dual, it doesn't matter. Whether you believe in this ideas of whatever. Enlightenment showed me, you call it enlightenment, but the enlightenment showed this one, that life is so, so incredibly beautiful in every aspect. And it isn't just outside of you. It starts from your inner being. And it goes through before your emotional sensory body, your inner being, your link to consciousness, the pure I comes through the emotions, through the senses, and through every pore in our, skin, pore, hole in your body. It just becomes alive, You become alive. And if you're alive, by God, the world's alive. And if the world's alive, the universe is alive. And you don't have to take a spaceship or go under a microscope. You know every planet in the universe. You know it. You know that there's thousands beyond the ones that have not yet been discovered. And you just imagine. You don't even have to imagine, because that's the mind. You just feel that pulsating universe within you. There's no separation, you see. There's no separation from you and your life, and you and your world, and you and your God, and you and your consciousness. There is only I, and I is that what it is. That's all you have to really know. And we all know it, just that we're on the fluctuating map right now. And of course, I also am on the fluctuating map. You're not some sort of He-Man. It doesn't happen like that, you see. Consciousness loves the idea that you're allowing it to translate or to reveal itself or to expose itself in whatever way it wants to expose. You're just a vessel for consciousness. That's what you are, your true self, to love the life that you have given yourself. You can say God gave you life, that's okay. In the deeper picture, no. God is secondary. You see, consciousness is first. God is an act. Consciousness is reality. And something beyond consciousness, another God maybe, a more profound, unaccepting God, the one gave life to his consciousness. Not found that one yet. Namaste.